It doesn't matter whether it's a birthday celebration, afternoon tea, or dessert after dinner. Cake has always been a staple on our home. This Earl Grey cake takes all that we wanted. More importantly, it used alternative coconut frosting, being a healthier alternative with 35% lesser fat than typical whipping cream. Sugar and oil has also been consciously lessened to satisfy a sweet tooth craving. Get yours now from your loyal bakery.
Welcome everyone to this episode of Women's Self-Care Series Season 2. Having this special guest today, I can't help but feel giddy, excited, and proud as how this fellow Filipina had made her way to success in life with what this show advocates the most, self-care, and the founder of Self-Made Sunday Planner. This one has surely planned her life to success. Having faced a shattered life circumstance when she's 21, she knew she needed to step up her game. Landing a job here in Singapore, she would put her pen to paper every Sunday, write down all her ambitions, dreams, and aspirations. Truly, with the right determination, nothing is impossible. Now, she has built her own investment and property portfolio, including her own vineyard lot and a private beach on an island, and enjoying financial freedom. Unconsciously creating a routine of awareness, she started to overcome stereotypes associated with Filipinos, Asians, and females, and defined happiness and success at her own terms. Let's all welcome and be inspired with this incredible Filipina, the amazing Anne.
Thank you. Thanks, Janine. Thanks for inviting me.
I hope you're having a good afternoon. Okay.
Yes, good afternoon.
Okay, let's dive into our questions now. Could you tell us more about yourself and how you started Self-Made Sunday Planner?
Yes, so I'm Anne, like what I mentioned a while ago, and I was born and raised in Manila, Philippines, Quezon City to be specific, Fairview to be specific. Yes, and I grew up in a very humble and conservative family. And then, when I started working in the Philippines, I had, as you can see in the website, right, I had a life change that led me to a job opportunity here in Singapore. So I've been in Singapore for 11 years now. And I work as a regional marketeer. So most of the time I'm traveling. Pre-COVID, I'm traveling almost every month in Southeast Asia for work. And then the next question is how I started Self-Made Sunday Planner, right? So to be honest, I only started it last year, the actual Self-Made Sunday brand. So it was in the middle of the pandemic. And, usually we would go home for Christmas and we will have gift giving. So because there was a pandemic, I was like, okay, what should I give them? Maybe something that's inspiring. So I planned to give them my planner. So I went to the printer and I said, can I just print 30 pieces for my family and friends? And the printer said, there's no 30 pieces. You either print 300 or, we won't accept it. But anyway, the price of 30 pieces and 300 is almost the same, right, in terms of scale. So I said, I don't need 300. And he said, no, after you give it as gifts, just sell some. So that was the beginning of it. I just really tried it. And it had a really, really very good response from my friends and friends of friends and family and friends of family. So I just continued it. But the actual planner itself started long time ago, maybe 8 years ago, because the planner itself, it has been developed for a long time. So usually the story is I would buy your normal agenda from bookstore, for example. So you will just buy your monthly, weekly, and I have that for my day-to-day work. But I would always have a pen and a ruler, and I will draft my own goals and dreams and journals. So I added these pages and I would do that every year. So minsan oh my God, I'm gonna do this again. Like I hope I really can buy a planner with some, with goals, journal and self-care personalized. Yeah. So I haven't had that. So I I printed it.
And it turned
That's
into
the
business.
yes.
Lucky you. You found this,
Lucky me.
like passion in really putting it into a business, right? Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Aside from planning, do you have any other self-care routines that you do?
Plenty, so many actually. And I think that's why also, if you can look at the planner itself, you have like this rock your routine, right? So you
Yes,
have the
yes.
rock your routine portion. And
Mhm.
honestly, if you look at it, all of it, the ones that I mentioned there, are really my routine. So for example, daily routine, um 10-minute morning yoga,
Mhm.
and then meditation, and then
Mhm.
weekly routine is really, fitness, and then
Mhm.
having time for family and friends. And then I have my monthly routines of finance check, and then monthly massage, monthly facial, mga ganyan. And then obviously quarterly you have your for example, short staycation or
Mhm.
trip, and then you have your yearly routines, which is for
Yes.
example talagang mga health checkups or big family trip or big couple trip. So I have
Mhm.
all of those routines.
Yes.
So madami. We have a lot.
Okay, that's nice to hear. Okay, would you consider those routines as part of your habit that attributes to your success today?
I think so. Yes. Definitely. Because it all comes automatic, right? So the moment that you establish, for example, all of us, I think most of us have not a problem, but a challenge with time. Like, oh,
Mm.
I don't have time to do this. Oh, I forgot about this. I don't have time to do this, and then just
Yeah.
life just goes on, right? And then
Yes,
you
yes.
forget about so many things. But
Mhm.
actually, if you plan in advance, and then if you have it in your routine that every week you're going to spend time with your family, you're going to spend time with your friends, you're going to
Yes.
spend time with yourself, then it's
Mm.
automatic. So I think in terms of also goals, so for me, for
Mhm.
example, I established it as a routine. Every Sunday I
Mhm.
would just sit down for 30 minutes or
Mhm.
1 hour, depending really on my mood, and just
Mhm.
have a look, okay, what do I really want in life? I just ask
Mhm.
that question. And then sometimes, sometimes you don't have the mood to have big dreams, right? That's
Yes.
fine. You just plan for the week ahead. But the
Mhm.
important thing is you have planned for it.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. I think it also comes with your right mindset, right? Because as you've mentioned
Yes.
earlier, some people think like with time itself, I don't have time. But when you think about it, each one of us has been given 24 hours in a day, right? That's fair and square.
Yes.
Everyone has it. But then how come other people say that I don't have time? And other people seem to like,
Yeah.
have this flow. So my
Yeah, and I also I because growing up I have a lot of like idols and
Mhm,
mentors even.
mhm.
So I really observe them, like, how do they go about life? Why are they so, like, why is everything so easy for them? For us it looks easy, right?
Yeah.
But one of my mentor told me before, he said nobody was born cool, nobody was born fit, nobody was born successful, right? So
Mhm,
the things that we do every day contributes to that, and it
mhm.
all just looks natural for them because they've done
Yes.
it for a long time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that, having that right mindset, I think it really helps. Uh, we cannot hide that we are what Filipinos called OFWs, right? Overseas Filipino worker. Do you think that what made you successful woman today helps with your mindset also, that you live like an expat and you don't use this term in your mind? Because I mean, as a Filipino, if you I'm not sure if it feels that way to you also, right? As a Filipino, we look high to those expats. But then we don't think ourselves as like expat also. As you look in the dictionary, expat means working abroad. And we technically work abroad also. So why
Yes.
we think that way wherein we are leveled up. And so we also live our way abroad the way they live. So
They
I think,
define,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So I think
just the
I
definition
th-
with your mindset.
yes. So thinking about it, I think technically, to be
Mm,
honest, like what you said, they mean the same thing, right? That's
Mm,
the technical, that's a
yes.
dictionary definition of it. It's
Yes.
exactly the same thing. Filipinos who work abroad.
Mhm.
And I think we are the ones who put flavor in it by defining it differently. So we
Mhm.
are the ones who are actually setting the limit. Like,
Yes.
okay, I'm not an expat. I'm just a
I'm just
Filipino overseas
yes.
worker. So I can only eat in the hawker center, for example. Or
Yeah.
no, I'm not an expat. I'm just a Filipino overseas OFW. So I'm just gonna be in the HDB even if I want to be in a condo. So
Ye
you are the one who is setting the limit, by
Mhm.
defining this. But technically, if you put it into context, there's no difference between an OFW and an expat, right? So I
Yes.
think number one, you shouldn't put that label or limit.
Mhm.
Um, and number two, you just do what you want. I mean, there's no rule book that says you're just an OFW and you're limited to this set of privileges, right? I
Yes,
think that
exactly.
hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, I think because as a Filipino, I think the mindset is something that we I'm not sure. I don't want to generalize, but then I think most have that mindset. That's why we limit ourselves to achieving more that we can.
Yes, and I think it comes with exposure because when I was also new, when I mean now I'm 11 years in Singapore, but
Mhm.
when it was my first year in Singapore,
Mhm.
it's like foreign land, and
Mhm.
you always live in a exchange rate definition of everything. So if I buy something, I'm like, oh my God, this is so expensive. I can't buy this because back at home, this is just going to be this much.
Yes.
But that's basically not living in your present, right? If you try to convert everything. So it's like,
Yes,
okay,
exactly.
I live here now. I live here
Mhm.
now, and this is how much it costs, and I deserve this because I work hard.
Mhm.
So I'm just gonna buy it. I don't need to convert things, right?
Yes, exactly. Okay. Planning your life has really seemed to work well with you. Can you share some of your plans that didn't turn out the way you planned it to be? Did it really turn out bad, or what it turned out to be is much better than you anticipated?
Plenty, again, plenty. There's so many plans that I wouldn't say not happened, but it was only delayed. So for example, when I was like what you said, a new OFW, I was living in an HDB, and
Mhm.
there was four of us in one room.
Mhm. Typical.
So technically it's a typical bunk bed. So there was four of us. And then at that point in time, I was like, when I was looking for a new flat, I was like, oh, I wish I can live in a condo with a swimming pool and with a view. And I was really praying that, at least, 20th floor is okay with me as long as I have a little view, just a bit of everything.
Yes, that's
But of course, it didn't happen in 1 or 2 years. But after 5 years, I
mhm.
was able to get an apartment at the 50th floor with a full
Wow.
view of Marina Bay. Yes.
Nice.
So I mean, it's just there's many things. Like for example, currently my husband and I are also planning for a baby, right? But of course,
Mhm.
as you know, it's not as easy for some.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna be always in your timing. That's why also in my planner, I have your goals for this year and your goals over the years to come, right? Because
Yes.
I think, even if you don't achieve it this year,
Mhm.
it's already there in your mindset and it's already there in your life. And if it's important to you, you just push it to the next year, right?
Yes.
As long as it happens, right? And
Yes.
most of the time, in my case, it
Mhm.
always happens to be a bigger or better than what I've ever wanted. Yeah,
Nice. I think that would inspire most of our viewers, knowing that it's not that what you planned or wished for would if it doesn't happen, then that's the end of it. I don't like to plan anymore, because it
yeah.
won't
There's so
happen.
many plans that
Yeah.
will not happen. Yeah,
Yeah, not realizing that, hey, what you have now is even better than what you've been
that's right.
planning, right? So it's just
Yes,
really a matter of mindset.
mindset.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, yes. Okay. Aside from your planner, You're a firm believer of growing through experience. That's why you've started this hashtag waste no weekend. Can you share more about this?
This was long time ago. So this was when I started working. So I started working in an advertising agency.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure if you're familiar, but in an advertising agency, and especially when you're younger, you're really the slave. So you really work like Monday to Friday, you would work overtime. And then
Mm-hmm.
Friday, you get so exhausted that all you do is just drink with your friends. And then Saturday and Sunday, you're just hangover. So basically, yeah, that was my life when I was like 22, 23, 24. It's just like working hard and getting drunk and, like wasting the weekend, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
then I got this promotion at work that I was
Mm-hmm.
fighting for, and they finally gave it to me, but they
Mm.
only gave me a $200 increase.
Oh,
So I
okay.
was like, okay, so I mean, for the work that I'm doing, and this is just like nothing, right?
Yes. Yes.
But I said, okay, I'm gonna take it, but
Mm.
I want more privileges. Like I just want time with the CEOs or the directors or the MDs. So the HR, they said, okay, I think that's easier to give than increase the money. So they said okay. And
Okay.
all it took was just like one coffee meeting with those leaders, right?
Yes.
But I think that um, one of my mentors there, he was the one who told me, because they were all like, high level senior positions. So they
Mm.
were like 50s. Um, and one person told me, she said, you are at the prime of your life, from 25 to at least 40. You have the best health, you have the best energy, and you should be using it to something that is good, because by the time that you're 40, you will start to feel that your energy is not that high. There's a lot of changes with you physically, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he said, at this point in time, you shouldn't be wasting your life by getting drunk on a Friday and just sleeping off your Saturday, Sunday. You need to do
Mm-hmm.
something
Mm-hmm.
this time where you have the best energy and the best resources and the best health to improve yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So with that advice, I started Waste No Weekend. So starting there, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna work unless it's necessary. I'm not gonna do overtime,
Mm-hmm.
because anyway, I'm not paid for that, right? So I'm gonna work my best
Mm-hmm.
in the time that I need to work, and then I'm gonna spend my weekends, you know, trying something new. So I learned different things. I learned like skateboarding. I learned some cooking. I explored, learned yoga.
Uh-huh.
Just exploring and trying different
Yes.
things. I think that's part of self care also. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why
Yes.
it's Waste No Weekend. And then our CEO at that point in time, he said, "Oh, nice! You made something out of my advice." So then it became sort of a trend in our company back then, and everyone would do something over the weekend, and they will hashtag it Waste No Weekend.
Nice. Could you imagine that simple
Yeah.
waste no weekend hashtag? Yeah,
Yes.
could inspire more, and even not only within your level, but people who are even higher level
Yes.
managers, you know. Yeah. Okay. Going to our next question, how do you define happiness and success?
That's a big question. And I think this is a very, very personal answer, because I also believe that we should all define success and happiness in our own terms and not
Yes.
by the standards of your
Others.
husband or your family or your society or the society, right? So if you're gonna ask me, so you're asking me what is my definition,
Yes,
right?
yours.
Yeah, so I think my definition is number one, um, good relationships. That's number one. Good relationships with family and friends.
Mm.
Second is good health, because good health will um, will not limit you. So you can do whatever you want. You can go wherever you want to go. You can wear what you want to wear, right?
Mhm.
Um, and third is knowing yourself and knowing your gifts and knowing your talent that you can share to others. So I think those are the three things that would define um, success and happiness for me. Because at some point I had two of them. So I had good relationships and then I had good health. Um, but I really didn't know. I think number three, knowing yourself and knowing your gifts
Mm-hmm.
that you can share to others, that's sort of your purpose.
Yes.
And, at some point in your life, everything goes well, but you seem to be like, what's wrong? I feel like something is missing, you have that something. And I think that's always finding that a special gift, a special talent that you have that you can share to others. It doesn't need to be super big like Mother Teresa or the Pope or I don't
Yes.
know, a senator, or president. But even if it's baking, for example,
Mm-hmm.
if you know how to bake and people around you appreciate it, your neighbors, that could be one, right? Or even if
Yes, yes.
it's, I don't know, flower arrangement, for example.
Mm-hmm.
If that creates beauty and that gives happiness to other people, that can be it.
Very nice. And I hope this inspires our audience, but not to copy because this one is yours. Yeah. Because
Yes, yes.
most of the time, that's what happens, especially with social media, right? We tend to we scroll along our social media and see things, and what we put in our mind is, I want to be that. I want to have that, which is totally wrong. It's that social media should be is there to inspire us to find the way that we how what we have and what we are, and hopefully um, inspire us, and think of and
Push
appreciate
us.
what we have. Yeah, yeah,
Yes, that's
yeah,
right.
exactly. Okay, last question. Any message to a fellow Filipino or women who would want to attain success in life and overcome stereotypes associated with Filipinos as Asians and females, and any tips for them?
That's a good question. And I would answer that it is a process. It's a long process and it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't happen overnight or even after a month. Because
Mm-hmm.
for me, we need to look at it in a way that this change is somehow going against our mindset and culture that has been embedded in us since we were young, right?
Yes.
So basically, what you're working on right now is 25 years of what you thought was right. And then you're just kind of reversing everything and defining your own. Actually, this is not wrong. It's actually accepted, something like that.
Yes.
So it's a long process. And for me, I went through that process wherein, when I was young and I was poor and humble, what success meant to me was having Prada bags, Louis Vuitton and whatnot. So
Yes.
at that point in time, it's exactly what you think. I thought of it in, I saw in Facebook, oh, I want to have that bag because, it's for me, it's a symbol of success and happiness.
Yes.
Um, and then when I reached that point that I was in Italy shopping designer clothes and Prada
Mhm.
bags, and then I was happy then. I was like, yes, finally, I'm
Finally.
here. And then, after a few months after that, I was like, and then what now? Actually, it didn't really give me a sustainable happiness. So
Yes.
it's a long process.
Mm-hmm.
And you can listen to what people say, or you can listen to different inspiring quotes on Instagram or Pinterest, right? But
Yes.
I think for me, it's also, you need to experience the whole process on your own
Yes.
because it's a step by step process. And you will only realize that, right, material things doesn't define happiness and
Mhm.
success.
Yes.
And then you will come to your own conclusion. So I think my advice is, that's a tough one. My advice is continue to be optimistic and ambitious, because
Mm-hmm.
if you're in that path, you
Mm-hmm.
will naturally go for inspiring people, and this
Mm-hmm.
inspiring people will tell you the right things, right? So for example, for me, Pinterest is a it's a platform, but it also served as a big inspiration because that's where I found, you know, materials, inspiring materials on confidence, for
Mm.
example, on the right attitude, on optimism, on mindset,
Mhm.
and then I use those to guide me to where I am now.
Mm.
So number one, it's a long process. You need to be patient. It's a complete transition of mindset. And
Yeah.
number two, you just need to stay optimistic and ambitious, and
Mm.
you just need to keep on chasing for your dreams.
Yes, very nice. I think it also helps that, yeah, what you've said, right? It's a process. And if you don't start from, from the small, from the beginning, from the small, humble beginnings, you won't appreciate it that much when you attain this success. Like, say your Prada bags, if it was just been given to you, so you won't appreciate if you had that happiness for a day or a month because you've worked hard for it. If it's just been given to you, I think it would just this happiness would just last for a day because you won't be contented with what you have because you never worked hard for any of it, right? So
Yeah.
it's really part of the process on how you would attain happiness also, because the contention being contented with what you have at certain levels would also help you.
Yes, and I would say that it also, you need to be patient because there will be so many challenges. Like there
Mhm.
were so many times that, for example, when I was doing my planner, right?
Mhm.
And I told my family I'm doing this planner, and then my dad is super old school. Can just imagine this 80-year-old dad in Quezon
Uh-huh.
City, and he was like, "Huh? Why are you selling planners? It's just free in National Bookstore." That kind of mindset.
Yes, yes.
So eventually, you will like, you're not supporting my dream, you're not supporting my passion, I
Mhm.
can turn it that way, right? And be
Yes, yes.
heartbroken that my own parents don't understand what I'm doing.
Mhm.
But
Exactly.
actually, if you put it into context, you
Mm.
just need to think that I understand, because he didn't come from this generation, and for him a planner is just you know
Paper.
the calendar that they give away during New Year.
Yes.
So yeah, so there will be a lot of different challenges, and even your own family and friends would have um, their own take that will
Mhm.
maybe hurt you, for example.
Mhm.
But you just need to do your best in what you're currently doing. So in short, it will not be easy, but you just need to keep on doing it and following what you love, right? And eventually you will reach where you want to be.
Yeah, nothing is easy in life anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So our interview is done, and we're here now on the fun part. I have prepared a short game for us. It's called
Mm.
Who Is It? So since we are here to inspire, I mean, not all of the question here is about people who inspire or what inspire you, but it's kind of like that. So let's just dive into it. Okay. Person who you are the proudest of.
My mom.
Could you explain why?
Yeah, no, because she was, I think she was the one who really pushed me, in
Mm.
terms of, just go for your dreams, go live abroad, go make mistakes, because that will teach you a lot of things. So at the same
Yes.
time, she's a pusher, but whenever I do something wrong or my heart is broken, I'm disappointed, she's also someone that I can go to, and she will
Oh.
always be there to comfort me.
Very nice. I think she's the, typical mom who, always push you to do your best. Yeah. Okay. Next, person who is the proudest of who you've become today. Is it your
I
mom
think,
too?
yes. Same. Yes, yes, yes,
Okay.
definitely, definitely.
I think so.
Because
Okay.
she has this also, I just want to share. She will always tell me, go live my life,
Very
which is
nice.
kind of a pressure for me, right? Because I think she has always been this very ambitious woman
Mhm.
Unfortunately, she lived in a time wherein, you know,
All the
you cannot
situations.
do more. You cannot do more than just being a wife. You just need to be at home, cook at home.
Mhm.
She didn't even have education.
Oh,
She read the books that was from my uncle, because at that time, right, men are used to go. Men go to
the one
school
who,
and women don't
yes,
go to
yes.
school, because
Mhm.
at the end of the day, they're just wives, right? So what
Yes.
my mom did is she actually read the books that my uncle used.
Oh my. Very.
Yes, yeah. So she will always tell me, I've always wanted to live a life that you're living now. So go live your life.
Nice. I think that's a quote that we should be, spreading out, go live your life. Very nice. Okay. Next, person you look up to, not aside from your mom.
Yes, 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 yes. My husband. My
Oh,
husband.
your husband.
Yes.
Why?
Because I think he helped me a lot in terms of, again, these are cultural differences. I think because from where I grew up, Filipino or Asian, whenever you're doing something, I don't know, somehow they always find that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. This is not gonna work. This. So I
Mindset,
grew
right?
up in that mindset, right? And
Yeah.
I think for him, because he's European, and for
Mm.
them, things are just super easy without even thinking about it. It's just
Mm.
like, oh, want to do this? Okay, do it. So there's not much, there's not much debate whether or not you can
You
do
can
it
do
or
it or not.
not, or are
Mm.
you are you worth it, are you this and that. It's just like, they just do what they want to do. They have that freedom, and they
Mhm.
have the confidence to do what they
Mhm.
want to do. And specifically for him, because he's very, very driven,
Mhm.
um and he's a great leader.
Nice. Very, very nice. Okay, next. Person who you trust the most.
Wow. Both of them also. That's my answer.
Mom and
Yes.
husband.
Yes.
Okay, I wonder which question would that come in. This one is not, I think, for sure not your dad. Person who you stalk the most in social media.
Honestly, no, I don't do stalking.
But you
True,
don't
yeah,
have
it's true.
anything.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, because I think, you're so much busy at work, and then
Mhm.
I'm so much busy with my passion projects. So Monday to Friday until night, I have a regular job,
Mhm.
which keeps me very occupied.
Mhm.
And then the spare time that I have, I do my passion projects with my planner, and I also paint.
Yes, I see.
um and on weekends I have time with family and
Mhm.
friends.
Mhm.
So I only use social media here and there, as and when. So I don't number one, I don't spend so much time in social media.
Mhm.
And number two, I don't particularly like stalk anyone.
Okay. Next. Person you last listened to. It can be a song, so it would be an artist or some podcast that you're listening right now.
Yes, I listen to Marie Forleo.
I don't know her.
No, so it's Mar as in Marie, and then the
Uh-huh.
surname is Forleo. I
Oh,
think it's good for you and your audience also.
oh, okay. So
Yeah,
take note of
search her.
that.
Yes,
Okay. Thank you for that. Next. Person you talk to when things go wrong.
my dad.
Nah!
Uh,
Finally, that is there.
yes, yes, yes. No, because he's he's your everyday happy Joe. He's just
Mhm.
always happy-go-lucky, and he's just like easy with life. Because my mom and I were ambitious. My husband is determined and ambitious also, and that also what I say is an A plus personality, right? We're
Yes.
especially ambitious. So when things go wrong, we're more disappointed.
Yes.
It's natural. It's natural.
Yes, yes, yes.
But I think my dad, he's so easygoing that he's just relaxed all the time. He's
Mhm.
like, when you meet him, he stays like cool. Ah, Like,
Okay.
just be happy.
Which is good
Like,
because you need to have,
yes, it's balance.
someone who balance you. So very nice combination. Okay, for the last one, person you want to meet someday. So person who inspires you that you haven't met, something like that. So who
So
could it be?
many
Okay,
that's
top
so many
five.
people, but I oh, okay, top five. Okay, I think one is Mahatma Gandhi.
Mm.
Two is Nelson Mandela. Um, three is actually showbiz, Angelina Jolie.
Nah.
Um, four is, can it be like dead people, right? Oh yeah, I've already mentioned. Um, four would be Saint Therese, because
Mm.
that's my mom named me after Saint Therese.
Oh, okay.
And then yeah, five would be, I'm thinking this hard because this is my last chance. Actually, five would be controversial, but Imelda Marcos.
Oh, why?
No, because I want to know, because with all of the recent controversy, corruption and
Mm.
whatnot. But also, I know coming from Singapore, that they were good friends with the Lee Kuan Yews,
Yes,
right? And
yes,
they actually had a beautiful plan for the
yes,
country, like a beautiful blueprint for the
yes.
country. So it's just like I'm curious, what
Like,
happened? Yeah.
why?
Yes. Yeah.
I hope you get to ask her one day and share with you.
Yes. I will.
Okay, so that ends up this episode. I think I hope you had a good time with this, answering these questions.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
And I hope it will inspire people, and especially Filipinas and Asians, and
Yes,
all of your followers.
yes, hopefully. Okay. Do you have any promotions with Self-Made Sunday Planner that you would like to uh
I
share?
think just check us out on
Mhm.
Instagram and the website as well. So the website is self-made-sundayplanner.com.
Mhm. Okay. Lastly, this episode is sponsored by your loyal bakery. You can get their baked goods with a 15% off. You just use
Nice.
Mom Goals 15, and this is valid from today until February 11th. So their cake is very nice.
Super good.
The Earl Grey cake is very delicious and with that coconut frosting. So better get
Nice.
them. Okay. So
Thank
Anne,
you so much.
much again. Bye.
Thank you, and speak to you
Thank you.
soon. Bye. Happy New Year.
Yeah, happy New Year
Bye.
too.